Ahsoka's Season 1 finale just teased the biggest coming threat that Star Wars has ever seen. Near the end of Ahsoka, Ray Stevenson's Baylen skull was seen standing atop a statue of the Father, a character that first appeared in Star Wars canon in the Clone Wars during the Mortis arc. The Father essentially represents balance in the Force. To the right of the statue representing the Father is another statue which is depicted as the Son, who is the living embodiment of the dark side of the Force. And lastly, to the left of the Father is the headless statue of the daughter, who opposite to the Son was supposed to be the embodiment of the light side of the Force. The Son actually fatally wounded the daughter, and as the daughter was dying and giving her last breath, she requested that her life force be used to resurrect Ahsoka. And now Morai, aka the daughter, follows Ahsoka around in the form of an owl, which we briefly saw in the finale of Ahsoka. However, interestingly enough, Baylen was standing on the outstretched hand of the Father, and once the camera was moved far enough away and we got a full look at the statue, it was revealed that the Father was pointing to something in the distance. Some fans have theorized that this scene could be teasing and or setting up the arrival of one of the most insane and most powerful characters in all of Star Wars history, Abeloth. Abeloth is a character who has only appeared in Star Wars Legends, therefore she is technically not canon as of right now, but she started off as a servant to the Ones, aka the Father, the Daughter, and the Son, and after growing increasingly close to each of them, Abeloth ended up becoming the Mother. However, unlike the Ones, Abeloth was not immortal. To fix this problem, she drank from the Font of Power and bathed in the Pool of Knowledge. For reference, the Font of Power was a particular fountain that was strong with the Force, especially the dark side. And anyone who drank from the font was said to be given unlimited power on both the past and future. The Son continuously drank from this source of power, which is the one reason why he was able to have that much dark side power in the first place. The Pool of Knowledge was similar in the fact that whoever bathed in it was granted limitless knowledge about anything and everything. The Pool of Knowledge was often bathed in by the daughter, which again is the living embodiment of the light side of the Force, and as a result of both drinking from the font of power and bathing in the Pool of Knowledge, the Mother gained unspeakable power and was transformed into the frighteningly evil dark side of the Force known as Abeloth. This horrified even her own family, who left the planet that they were previously on for a new place called Mortis. The Father in particular realized what would happen if Abeloth were to just roam around the galaxy, so he, the Son, and the daughter were actually able to imprison her on a planet in the Maw. Being immortal gods in a sense, they never had to worry about her being freed as long as they all still lived. However, once they all perished in the Clone Wars, everything changed. In Legends, Abeloth was awoken by Jacen Solo. You might recognize his last name because he is the son of Han Solo and Leia Organa. Jacen didn't intentionally awaken Abeloth, but since he was so caught up with his war against the Jedi, Abeloth was able to escape her planet and make her way to the greater galaxy. After some time, Abeloth was eventually killed by the hands of Luke Skywalker. However, no one ever knew if she was ever truly dead. When Baylen stood on the outstretched arm of the statue of the Father, he was clearly looking to where it was pointing, and it's entirely possible that the statue is pointing to where Abeloth is currently imprisoned, meaning that Baylen could be heading there to unknowingly unleash her, just as Jacen Solo did in the Star Wars Legends. After all, Baylen did say that something was calling to him, and seeing as how both the Father and Son are dead, it could very well be Abeloth's voice that he heard calling to him. Since she was imprisoned until the Ones died, this could very well be the same thing in the Star Wars canon. After they were killed on Mortis, maybe Abeloth's chains on Peridia were annihilated, and she just needed some big disturbance in the Force to awaken her. And it's important to note that if this is true, she will undoubtedly be the most powerful character that Star Wars has ever introduced, and yes, even more powerful than Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader, or even Emperor Palpatine. Abeloth's existence on Peridia could also explain how the entire planet is a graveyard. She's such a powerful dark side user that she literally destroys everything she comes into contact with. The only reason the Great Mothers, Thrawn, and Ezra were able to survive is because she's been imprisoned this whole time. It would also make sense that the Ones would choose Peridia as a place to hold her, since the Star Wars galaxy is so important and so rich with the Force, they wouldn't want her coming anywhere near there. It's also possible that Abeloth could escape Peridia and make her way to the Star Wars galaxy. Her being able to travel to the Star Wars galaxy could further prove how powerful and dangerous she really is, especially considering how some of the most powerful Force users, including Ahsoka, Ahsoka could barely even find Peridia, much less get there. At this point, all fingers, including the father, are pointing to Abeloth being imprisoned on Peridia. If she truly is, then anyone in her past should be more than afraid of what's about to happen. But let me know what you guys think of this theory down in the comments. It makes a lot of sense, so it could totally happen. But with all of that said, I'll see you guys next time.